Okay, this is going to be a bit longer, a bit slower, and it's going to take a lot more of your attention span, which I hope is a lot longer than mine is. Some of you, maybe a lot of you, are not coming from the shorts or reels, in which case, hi, I go by Oblivion Wanderlust, basically everywhere on the internet these days, and here I am finishing my sketchbook. For like last month, I've been posting short videos about finishing the sketchbook, the last 72 pages of it. And yeah, you heard that right, the first one. I've only been properly drawing for like 6 months now. I got the sketchbook, well, technically it's an unruled journal, in July of last year. I started drawing in it in September for like a week, but then I stopped. But starting in March of this year, I actually got a lot more consistent with it. And this last month is the most consistent I have been with drawing in my whole life. So yeah, here we are on the last day of August, finishing the last page of my first sketchbook. So yeah, that's basically what I've been doing today. If the voiceover and all that stuff has lined up, I should just be finishing the lay-in of the last drawing. Look, this is not going to be a finished drawing, right? I still have no idea how to render things out correctly, or even where to begin. But I'm going off of Bridgman's advice on shading. There should be a decided difference between the tones. The number of tones should be as few as possible. Avoid all unnecessary tones and do not make 4 tones where 3 are needed. It is important to keep in mind big, simple masses and to keep your shading simple, for shading alone does not make a drawing. So yeah, there are going to be maybe 2 or 3 values in this. At some point in the future, I will tackle the subject of rendering, but not just yet. 2 or 3 values are enough for what I'm trying to do. Now, I'm not a professional or even trained as an artist. Heck, I started drawing 6 months ago, but I think I've developed a decent eye. I see a lot of artists, beginners like me, posting their work on the internet that tends to dispose of this idea that comes from Bridgman. There's this tendency amongst the beginners of not just the visual arts, but of all arts, to try and hide their lack of fundamentals under gloss of more advanced techniques which they're probably not ready for. A beginner artist may try and use rendering to compensate for poor draftsmanship, which, without the foundational understanding of the forms underneath, results in a blobby mess. A musician without the understanding of phrasing or melody will just walk up and down a scale at 200 beats a minute and call it a solo. A poet who does not understand meter or even the grammar of the language that they are working in will call their work free verse. And a bad screenwriter will write a non-linear narrative without having a grasp on the fundamentals of storytelling. You might even see people on YouTube using really fancy editing to cover for the fact that their YouTube video has no substance. I won't show any examples here, but you've probably seen it. Heck, you might even be guilty of it. I know I am. I actually think the reason for this is not the beginners in and of themselves, but rather the environment that we find ourselves in. If you're going through some sort of course, the intention is to teach you the basics of a craft, the fundamentals in the span of something like 6 months to a year. This is really rushed. You won't be able to do all of the advanced things with just 6 months to a year or even less of foundational studies. But the institution offering you that course probably doesn't care about this. They've got your money, they've got your clicks, they've got your views. There's also social media where it feels like you need to be extremely good at something to see any kind of validation. It's an emphasis on competition and who can get the best the fastest. We get told about optimum learning strategies, and there's an implication that this is something to be desired, that you should learn the optimal way or not learn at all. We get told that there isn't enough time. We need to be successful by the time we're some age, or it's too late. All of this is amazing if you're trying to sell people stuff. I don't buy it. I have found that for me, the optimum strategy does not work. I believe that for anyone to develop skills in anything, it takes time, and it takes every person their own time. Trying to rush things, trying to cheat time, does not work. The only thing that works is work. It's the people that do all the work all of the time that eventually catch on. Mind you, this does not mean endless grinding either. I will talk about that some other time because this video is getting long enough. But that's what I'm trying to do, doing the work. I'll eventually catch on.